This is Tim with Death by Metal MMB, and I'm talking to who?
Hey, this is Mike Gilbert from Flotsam and Jetsam. How's it going?
Awesome, definitely. So let's go ahead and start off with the new album. What was the new concept as far as like creating the new album? How long did it take, and is it one person that kind of writes the music and so forth, or is it like a collective of all of you?
That's a great question. It's collective with all of us right now. We've got so many assets in this band. With the addition of Steve Conley,
Yep.
Michael Spencer, and Ken Mary now, everybody has super good songwriting skills. The way we do it is Steve or I write about for the in the cast. I think we each wrote about 25 riffs,
Right.
and we kind of float around a little bit, and then it gets turned over to AK, and he kind of decides on what he can sing on. Some sort of strong chorus or strong verses and stuff like that.
Right.
And that's pretty much how it gets picked. When it gets to that point, if he feels he can really work something, a memorable chorus or something, that's how that happens.
Definitely. When you guys go on tour and all the albums that you guys have, but is there one song that you particularly like playing more than the others, or no?
Absolutely. It's the classic "No Place for Disgrace." That
Wow.
song, we usually play that first or last because it just gets the pit going pretty. It gets the pit going, and I can say that.
Definitely. Of all the things or all the places that you've toured and so forth, which one stands out the most?
Oh man, I don't know. We played Wacken last year in Germany.
How was that?
And that it's like a drug, When you step out onto the stage and there's all those people looking at you, it's unbelievable. You have such a rush of energy. It's hard to even comprehend or explain the feeling that you get, but it's the Super Bowl of metal,
Right.
And you made it there. You made it to the Super Bowl, so.
What was it? If I can ask a couple of questions about this, how was the setup with going there, and was it kind of like there's just so many people there, getting on stage and so forth. Is there musicians walking around everywhere? I mean, tell us a little bit about that experience.
Yeah, you have first of all, it's like in a season where it's all rainy and everything, so it's real slushy.
Oh yeah.
It's good to be an artist when it's like that, because when you step out into the crowd and you start walking around, you notice everybody's got galoshes on.
Yeah.
And it's just a big huge mud bog is what it is. But everybody's having fun and everybody's drunk and just it's a huge great party. But for us, luckily we get to hang out backstage where we don't have to wear galoshes. We got a nice little walkway to walk on, which is really cool.
Right.
Being back there, our dressing room was right next to Henry Rollins, and I didn't notice it until after we got off stage, and I was going back to the dressing room. I'm like, oh shit, and I wanted to meet him.
Yeah.
And I didn't get a chance to meet him. He was already gone by that time. So
Right.
I was kind of bummed out. But yeah. So it's always cool to network with other bands and talk with other people and their experiences and what concerts they like going to, especially with the European festival circuit.
Oh yeah,
Everybody's
definitely.
got their favorite shows over there. Crazy stuff happens,
Is it like the States when you play Wacken, when certain bands play and they just, when their set's over, they just pack up and leave? Is it like that, or do they kind of hang out and party, or what the hell they do over there?
It just depends on your schedule, because sometimes, like us, we stayed for 2 days and then we came home. We were able
Right.
to because we didn't have anything else set up. But a lot of the other bands head off to other festivals, or they have one-off shows that they do. And
Definitely.
so luckily we got to hang around.
The new album, the new album.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. The new album, The End of Chaos. How did you guys come up with the name of that?
We were going to call the record The End.
Right.
And ASM stepped in and they're like, no, you're not going to do that because it's something you guys are taken off from the band, you know.
Right.
It sounds like you guys are hanging it up, and that's definitely not the case. So we did some thinking and a little brainstorming, and we ended up coming up with the End of Chaos. And it kind of coincides with one of the songs, too, you know, that's on there. So, yeah, it works out pretty good. And we don't want to scare anybody, any of our fans.
Right. Right, definitely. What's one of your favorite songs to play off the new album?
Control. That is by far the hardest Flotsam song to play ever.
Really?
Oh, yeah, it's insane. It's so fast. If you end up missing a note on it when you're playing it, you end up just getting totally derailed. So,
the
concentration.
Who comes up with the album artwork? Do you send it off to a guy, or does one of you create it, or how does that work?
We send it off to a guy that, you know, we kind of give him our ideas of what to do with it, and he makes, you know, like he's got a pretty good idea of the lizard, Flotzilla.
Right.
So he goes ahead and does whatever he can with whatever we're asking, and he nailed it this time. You know, we wanted to kind of have the broken city in the background.
Right.
You kind of don't know what his feelings are, Flotzilla's feelings are. Is he pissed that the city's broken down, or is he the one that just destroyed it, or what's going on, you know?
Right. Definitely. As far as of all the touring that you've done and so forth, is there one band that you wanted to tour with, and if you did tour with them, how was that experience?
Yeah, I always enjoyed touring with Megadeth. We've done a few tours with them.
Right.
And Dave's all of them are fun to hang out with. And we've got a lot of history together and stuff like that. But as far as newer bands or other bands that I'd like to tour with, I'd like to tour with Metal Church. I think that would be a good tour. Touring with Overkill's been pretty badass. I'd like to do a lot more tours with those guys if we can.
Oh, yeah,
we just
definitely.
came back from Europe with them, and we're getting ready to go back in September with them at Destruction again. So those guys are always killer to tour with.
I had an interview with Schmier a while back, about a year and a half ago, and I talked to him, and every once in a while I'll message him like, hey, you know, Merry Christmas or whatever it is, and he'll talk to me a little bit about St. Louis and about, you know, he likes eating food and so forth. But we're going to end up interviewing Overkill this Sunday. So
who in Overkill?
I don't know. You know what? I don't really know. I last time it was Bobby. We interviewed him like 4 years ago or 3 years ago, and it was Bobby. And then they just came to us and they said, hey, do you want to interview Overkill? They're coming into St. Louis. And I was like, oh yeah, definitely. You know, I'm not going to pass it up. They got a brand new album out and whatever. I was hoping you guys would be on the tour. I was kind of confused. You guys, you mentioned Metal Church. They just was here 2 days ago. How come that's never? I wonder why that's never happened. Like you, Metal Church. I thought Sacred Reich would be a good person to tour with. You know, again, Overkill all together. I never understood why old thrash metal bands never got together. I would think it'd be a hell of a tour to have like 4 or 5 of you guys linked in together and tour across the states. I think that would be just phenomenal.
Yeah, you know, I can't even tell you how many Metal Church tours we've all planned together. There's probably been like 4 or 5 of them.
Yeah.
Maybe even more than that. But we planned, and then it just doesn't happen due to timing. You know, sometimes the album gets postponed. You know, I think the last time they ended up getting a new singer is what was going on. So, yeah, it's just trying to get the planets to line up. We did 70,000 Tons a few years back with them, and you know, we kind of became pretty good friends with them. And I just don't know why we haven't done any shows yet. It's just the planets aren't aligned. Sacred Reich, you know, that makes all the sense in the world. Being another band from Phoenix.
Absolutely, I didn't, and even Atrophy, the old thrash metal band from the '80s. I talk to Tim Kelly all the time, and they're coming out with something new here soon. And I never understood it because I always thought when Metallica was doing their tour, I thought it would be really cool for them to go to every state, and if the band's available, kind of hook up with an older band of that genre and kind of put them on, you know, make them have the opener and kind of do it that way. And I just don't understand. I thought with Slayer the same way, you know, why not do that? You know, it's a moneymaker. You can make millions and millions off doing this. It just never pans out, but it is what it is, you know. We'll get to see you regardless. But as far as your influences growing up, who really impacted you to get into music, to play music?
Oh, that's AC/DC was the reason I got into it. I listened to Jack is what it was, and I just would sit there and listen to that song over and over, and just something about the guitars, like the reverb on it, it just sounded killer. I was like, I gotta play guitar. And my mom ended up buying me a guitar for like $20 at Kmart, which I still have the guitar. And it's actually a pretty nice little guitar for learning on.
Right.
And they knew I was going to stick with it, so they ended up buying me a Les Paul after that. And, you know, and now I got like 20 more of them.
What's your favorite guitar to play?
Oh, man. It just depends on my mood. Sometimes I play my Paul Reed Smith. My Les Paul is always like, that's my baby, you know. But lately I've been playing Jacksons, and I've been really happy with those guitars. And not even the USA ones, they're the ones that are made in Indonesia.
Right.
The X series are pretty nice.
Definitely. And as far as this is the ultimate question, I don't know if you even would have an answer for that. As far as like when Jason Newsted played in a band, and I don't even know how. There's always rumors of how long he played in a band or whatever, and I think he played on that first album. I'm not really sure. There's just really not a definite answer. But do you run into people like that? Has he ever come to a Flotsam show or taken part in anything?
Yeah. I talk to him a few times a year. You know, I still offer him gigs. You know, if he wants to come and play with us. We're doing the U.S. tour, and Michael Spencer's not going to be. He's not going to be doing some of the shows.
Right.
So, excuse me. So you know, I extended to Newstead. Hey, if you want to jump in and play some shows, I'd love to have you out. You know. And there was some talk before Ugly Noise of him coming back to the band and maybe participating in it again, but it didn't work out for him. So. Right. Unfortunately.
I don't know.
It's Michael Spencer now, so.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I mean, your band's solid lineup, but like I said before, I know Kirk Hammett played with Exodus for a little bit, and they've had him come back or whatever, and just for shits and grins to do it. But it is what it is. But so you guys are going over to Europe a little bit later. What else is in store? Do you have anything else in store in the future?
Yeah, we got tons of stuff going on. We're doing the U.S. tour, 5 weeks. It starts this coming Friday night. Well, I shouldn't. Not tomorrow, but next Friday, I guess.
Right.
And we start in Denver, and we just kind of do a horseshoe around the nation and hit some shows up in Canada as well. And then we come home. We're off for about 2 weeks, and then we go to Europe. We come back we go to Europe for July. We come back. We go back out for August, and then we go back in September, and we're back with Overkill and Destruction then. And then after that, we hope to hit some more primary markets in the United States.
Definitely.
So it's going to be a busy year for us.
Definitely. Last two questions. What was your very first metal concert, and what was your very first metal album you ever bought?
My very first metal concert was Ozzy Osbourne with Randy Rhoads on Diary of a Madman. And my first metal, serious metal record.
Yeah.
I think it was Metallica. The first time I heard Hit the Lights. Okay, me and my friends always used to hang out at Circle K by my house, or 7-Eleven, because we were drinking big gulps. We'd sit behind 7-Eleven and sit on milk crates and drink big gulps all night and listen to music.
Yeah.
You know, kids could do that then and not get in any trouble. And one of our friends brought this tape, Metallica tape, this Hit the Lights, and I was just forever changed. My life was never the same after that.
No, I think I ended up getting it wasn't Metal Blade, it was Metal Massacre. I ended up getting a tape, and it had Metallica on it and a bunch of others. And I bought it from Kmart and I'll never forget. And I never heard of Metallica, and I put it in. I was like, who the fuck is this? And that was all she wrote. I started spending every paycheck on like Anthrax and whoever you guys and whoever I can grab, you know. And it's kind of a shame because nowadays you don't have record stores as much as we did when we were kids. And you know, I always loved going there and finding a diamond in the rough. You know, I picked an album 99% of the time. I picked an album not because of the music, because I couldn't listen to it, but it was because of the artwork on front. And that's why.
Yeah, that's old school stuff right there. Same here.
You know, that's how I chose it. And nowadays, you know, I kind of whenever I do the press releases and so forth, I kind of look at the album covers and I'm like, you know, God, you know, maybe this thing is going to be good. And you know, it's probably 50-50 nowadays. It has a badass album cover, but I listen to the music, I'm like, what the fuck is this? You know? So, but yeah. It is what it is. But anyway, I wish you guys nothing but the best of luck, you know, and be careful on tour and do what you got to do. And hopefully we'll see you here in St. Louis soon.
Thank you. Are you going to come to any of the shows?
I would like to try to if they're on in St. Louis, definitely, because I met you guys before. Actually, I went with you guys a while back when you were in St. Louis. I went to Pappy's and got some food with you, and we all went down to Pappy's. I don't know if you were involved with it or not.
Oh, yeah, that was the barbecue place.
Yeah, it was me. I think it was me, you, Steve, and somebody else went.
Oh, okay. Dude, I know you. What the heck?
Yeah, definitely.
If we would have Skyped, I'd have been like, hey, what's up?
Yeah, because like I said before, I don't really, like, I talk to so many musicians, but a lot of times people forget, you know, there's like, you sound familiar, but I don't know. But we talk to so many bands, and we run into them. We always go to Pappy's in St. Louis, or we hang out, or we bullshit or talk. And once they see me, and especially with me getting shot, it's like a lot of people like, I know who the fuck you are. And it's pretty cool. But yeah, I always come to you know, your shows specifically. But Metal Church was the other night, and I didn't go because my leg didn't feel up to do it. And it's a food bar, and I kind of stay away from that place as much as I can. You know, just is what it is. If I have to go, I'll go. But Overkill's playing at Delmar Hall, and that's kind of like a 700 seated, you know, building. So we'll see how that goes.
Well, they're on fire right now, man, so don't miss that one.
Oh, no. I got the interview. I'm going to do all that. But hopefully you guys come through St. Louis. I don't know what your tour dates are.
All right.
So, but other than that, man, hopefully you come through St. Louis, and we'll check you out. But wish you nothing but the best of luck, and thank you for calling.
Tim, thanks for having me, dude. Looking forward to seeing you again, man.
You too. Take care, buddy.
All right, take care. Bye.
All right, bye.
I see them fall.